What's up and welcome into a fresh Locked On Bulls. I'm Matt. That's Big Dave. Up ahead on today's episode, we are continuing our breakdown of everything from Chicago Bulls Media Day on Monday, including some interesting quotes about team chemistry and the plans for this season from some of the newcomers, Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, and last year's midseason acquisition, Nikola Vucevic. That's all next on a fresh Locked On Bulls. Let's go.
Lufa.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Here are your hosts, Matt Peck and Big Dave Watson.
What's up and welcome into Locked On Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. You can follow my co-host Big Dave Watson at BAWL Sports, and you can follow us at Locked On Bulls. Shoot us an email, lockedonbulls@gmail.com, or hit us up on that text to voicemail line, 331-979-1369 for our weekly mailbag episodes. Big Dave, how are you, my friend? I'm curious. I gotta know what's on the t-shirt. I don't recognize that one. Is that new?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked that. This is actually a restaurant of my friend out in New York. This was his restaurant that he had. He sent me a really cool shirt. It was called the Vicious Creole Cycle. He's Creole and he makes Creole dishes, and they're really amazing and they're really, really awesome. So he doesn't have this one anymore. He just is starting another new restaurant. We've been talking about it for the past few days. He bought the building. He's very, very excited about it. I don't want to say too much about it, but he's very, very excited about it, and it's going to be just really awesome. So when it all comes together, you guys are in New York, you should stop by. Trust me, I'll tell you much more about it. But
I was going to say, man, we've got a fair amount of Bulls fans that live in New York that listen to this show. So when they have their big grandiose opening, you got to let our listeners know where they can find that awesome Creole.
Hey man, follow him on Instagram at Chef Jimmy Thomas. Follow him there, Chef Jimmy Thomas. See all the awesome things that he makes, and he's a DJ too. He does that as well on the side.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's called talent.
Of course you're friends with such fascinating, multi-talented people. Oh, yeah, I'm a chef and a DJ. Jeez.
Like,
leave some hobbies and skills for the rest of us, Chef Jimmy.
Idris Elba stuff out here. Come on, man. But shout out Chef Jimmy. That's my guy.
All right, let's get rolling. We've got more to cover from Bulls Media Day. Man, I mean, just seeing Lonzo Ball in a Bulls jersey, seeing DeMar DeRozan in a Bulls jersey, it was cool and it was awesome, man. All of those fun pictures and videos coming out from Media Day. There was a lot of interesting talk from Lonzo Ball and from his coach, Billy Donovan, about how exactly the Bulls plan to use him this season. But it starts with this. It starts with Lonzo talking about how his game was shifted his last season in New Orleans kind of because Stan Van and that team was shifting in a new direction with giving the ball and putting it in Zion's hands a lot more and having Lonzo operate off the ball. And here's what Lonzo said about that. He said, quote, "It was different. It was really the first time I've done that. Whatever coach asks me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm a basketball player at the end of the day. I could do a lot of things on the court, so I don't want to be caged in. I want to help. I want to do whatever I can to help, and whatever they think that is, that's what I go out and try to do." Big Dave, I think Bulls fans should be encouraged by that because we are anticipating a little bit more of Lonzo getting back to what he thinks he does best, which is operating with the ball and setting up his teammates. But the other silver lining to maybe this frustrating or at least different experience he had in New Orleans last season is that it helped him improve other elements of his game as a legitimate threat off the ball, which I think will be useful for this Bulls offense.
I think you hit it dead on the head right there, Matt. You could look at it as a negative, like, oh, man, they had him playing out of position, not doing and using him to the best of his abilities, which, let's be real, they weren't. But at the same time, like Matt just said, he was able to find out more about himself as a better basketball player. So what it did, and what it also showed, guys, was just how much Lonzo is willing to do anything to win. because he wasn't playing he wasn't doing something he did something that was foreign to him, something he wasn't good at. And instead of pouting about it, whining about it, crying about it, he said, how about I just go get better at it? He went in, he got better at it, developed a 3-point shot, you know what I'm saying, became a legitimate threat without the basketball, improved his defense also, and he also facilitated at the same time when the opportunity came for him to do so. And when it resulted in him having a great season statistically. If you look at the stats, that was an excellent season for Lonzo Ball for playing out of position and not doing what everybody knows he's best at. So I appreciate that from him because it shows me he's a baller. He's a hooper. You put him on the court, he'll figure it out. And he'll say, yo, this is okay, fine. You need me to do this? Now I'll do this. You need me to do that? Now I'll do that. So it's really a blessing, Matt. Honestly, like it really is a blessing for him. Because like you said, it made him a more well-rounded basketball player, but it also is a blessing for the Bulls because now we can use it. We can do many, many things with him, including doing what he's best at. So that makes this all awesome. This is all good things right here for Lonzo Ball, honestly.
Yeah. I think Lonzo is excited to get back to what he was doing more of up until last season. It certainly sounded like that in some of his comments. But I think that, and it's something that AK spoke to also when he was talking about Lonzo's addition, saying he likes to play fast, he can advance the ball, he can guard, he can be a primary ball handler, he can play as a secondary ball handler. He mentioned Lonzo's improved three-point shooting on an increased number of attempts last season. Also lauded Lonzo's rebounding ability, which is something we were talking about yesterday and Billy Donovan talked about with, look, you might be playing some small ball lineups. Where's the rebounding going to come from? Look to Lonzo to bump up his rebounding numbers. But going back to what AK said, collectively right now, we've got a lot of guys who can handle the ball. As many ball handlers as we can get, we can be more versatile. Teams can struggle defending us and can't have one game plan to stop one player. I think the versatility gives us a chance every night. And when you talk about versatility, I think you got to mention Lonzo Ball first.
Oh, yes, you have to mention him first and foremost. And what we noticed about Billy Donovan, especially in OKC, they won in a myriad of ways. It wasn't just one way. And remember, if you remember correctly, you remember that. Like, I'm talking about the CP3 season.
Right.
There was a lot of ways that they won. It just wasn't one way or one person that they did it with. And CP3 is a perfect guard for that because he has very few weaknesses, especially on the offensive end. He could do it. He wants to be off the ball. He's good at that. You know, we know how great he is. And of course, I'm not saying Zoe is him. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he comes in that kind of mold of a point guard who has to have the ball, who is going to set up everybody around him and make sure everybody eats. But at the same time, when the defense dictates him not having the ball in his hands, it doesn't stop anything. He'll still rotate. He'll still set the picks. He'll still post up in that corner and pull that 3-point shot and hit it at a high clip. That's what Billy Donovan likes. He needs options out here. You can't just be one thing. There's nobody on this starting five who's just like, you know what, probably outside of Vooch, and I'm not even going to count Vooch because he shoots threes, but who you could just say does particularly one thing or particularly one thing at one position, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? No, these guys can do a myriad of things at myriad positions on the floor. The 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 can all switch. They can all switch, and it'll still be okay. But yeah, man, I'm just really excited about Zoe being here, Matt, because to be honest with you, Matt, watching that yesterday, that's when it got real to me. I think that's when it hit me is when I saw Zoe in the Bulls uniform because he's the one I saw in the Bulls uniform in my head years ago. And so seeing that in my head years ago and seeing him with it on and just looking at the pictures of him with this jersey on, the white jersey, seeing him with that on, it just really hit me. It really did. I was like, oh my God, he's here. Like the dude I've been wanting all this time is now here on this team. And that's when it just made me so excited. And it was kind of a surreal moment. That's what made me know it's real, man. But I just love the fact that he's more versatile and more well-rounded and that Billy Donovan wants him to be him. And I love and the quotes Lonzo said, man, I mean, there are many more that he said, but I think my favorite one that he talked about was his decision to come here and how simple it was for him. He was like, no, it was pretty easy. I wanted to be there. They wanted me. All right, yeah, I'm going. Like, yes. And Zach LaVine was there. So yeah, I want to play with him. My God, I almost jumped out of my seat, man. I was going crazy. I was like, I'm not used to hearing that, okay? I'm just not used to hearing that. So hearing that just made the toe shoot up in my boot, and I was very, very excited.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he did mention the connection with Zach and that he and Zach had been in communication, ever since Lonzo was at UCLA, having that connection there. And that obviously not only that connection, but wanting to play with a player of Zach's caliber was enticing, but also going back to what you just mentioned, the Bulls, Lonzo has repeatedly said this, and he said it again on Media Day. They wanted me for me.
Yes.
Here is a quote from Lonzo. They didn't want me to change anything I had going, any part of my game. They wanted me to excel in the things I'm already comfortable doing. So it was an easy choice for me. And Big Dave, it's great to hear that because, again, and we were talking about some of these, comparisons on yesterday's episode, when you think about where this organization is now versus the failed first 5 years of the rebuild after Jimmy, it's so different. Hearing a free agent who chose the Bulls saying, yeah, they want me to do what I do well, as opposed to the pieces of the rebuild that didn't work out. Lauri Markkanen, nope, sorry, we don't want you to be this. We want you to be just that. Wendell Carter Jr., nope, we don't want you to do this. We want you to do just that. Even Kobe White, who is still here, went through some struggles his rookie season because he came in and said, hey, I like to, get to my spots and knock down mid-range shots. And the Bulls said, nope, we don't want you to do that. We only want you to do this.
Yeah.
It is a completely stark opposite of what this team was failing to do developing their young players until AK and Eversley got here.
Mm-hmm. Even on top of that, Matt, your boy Jabari Parker, when they brought him in here, your biggest thing was, dude, he doesn't even play that position. He doesn't even play it. Why do y'all have him in here playing this position? He doesn't even play it. And so, just to add that to your point, they're like, no, we're not going to ask you to do anything else. We're not going to ask you to be off the ball. We're going to put the ball in your hands. And that's a question I was getting a lot from when I was on Locked On Mavs and on other shows, other great podcasts. Shout out to Locked On Kings as well. When they were asking me who gets the ball, who's going to run the offense, who's going to do that, and I was Zoe, he's going to do it. It's him. Why? Because they said it. They was like, it's him. He gets the ball. He'll set up everyone because he's better at doing that. I know DeRozan's good at doing it. I know Zach's good at doing it, but they're better at other things. Zoe is built for this. He is built for this. He does not need to score. He doesn't care about scoring. He cares about setting everybody else up and make sure everybody eats. One of the great things he also said, Matt, and I can't remember if it was during that conference or if it was when he was talking to Jason Goff, Kendall Gill, and Will Perdue, but he said, I would just sit there and I would watch and I wanted to play with Zach. And he was like, Zach is a great scorer, great difficult scorer. You know what I mean? He's very good at that. He was like, well, maybe this way I can get him some easy buckets. I was like, yeah, man, what? I got so excited. I was like, yes. And I don't know if Zach felt that, but I felt it for Zach. Like, dude, he just promised you an easy 6 points. He's like, oh, here's a quick little alley-oop from half court. You know what I mean? Oh, here's a quick setup to you because Zach likes to shoot threes. Let me run this quick little pick and pop with you all day long. How about we do that with teams? It just excites me because we know what Zoe does well, Matt. Regardless of what guys want to argue about his skill set, there's no argument about his skill set and his IQ as far as running a basketball team and being an excellent point guard. And the Bulls want him to do just that. Oh, start the season. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
Man. Big Dave, you are so excited. It looks like you might be getting a little warm over there. I mean, in case you are, or in case anything with this strangely still hot Chicago weather, we're almost to October. How is it still hot outside?
It is wild.
I don't get it.
But
you know what has been a lifesaver for me, and I know it's been a lifesaver for you, Big Dave, is the amazing products they have at Sweat Block. Doctor created and doctor recommended. Guys, a few things in life just aren't fun to talk about. And one of them is excessive sweating. When you're sweating through your shirts for no reason, when you're sweating through your Justin Fields jersey on Bear Sunday because the team is getting their butts kicked in and you got the stress sweats going on. Well, listen, it's not life or death. And there are many worse problems in the world. But let's be honest, in those moments, it feels like a big deal. Nobody likes to pit out during an important speech, an interview for a big job, a first date. That's the worst. I'd much rather just not worry about it. And that's why I use Sweatblock Antiperspirant. Sweatblock is stronger and more effective than the most clinical antiperspirants. You simply apply it at night before bedtime, go to bed the next morning, and you wake up, wash, and voila. Go about your day without worrying about sweat, guaranteed, because there won't be any sweat. This Sweatblock line of antiperspirant products is dry shirt guaranteed. If Sweatblock doesn't keep you dry, you get your money back. Featured and tested on the Rachel Ray Show by firefighters, the sweatiest people on the planet. Bestseller on Amazon for the past 10 years, over 13,000 positive reviews, and currently number one. That's right, number one in Amazon antiperspirant category. Manufactured right here in the US of A. Wear what you want to wear. It's your little secret to being confident every day, regardless of the situation. A must-have for everyone's toiletry bag, whether it's a big presentation or a hot date. Everyone can benefit. If you or someone you love is dealing with this, you have to check out Sweatblock. Get it today for 20% off at sweatblock.com with promo code LOCKEDON or at Amazon and CVS stores.
You know what? You've worked all week long. You work 5 days. You just got your Saturday. You got your Sunday. You want to sit back. You want to relax. You want to deal with college football. But guess what? You forgot you got to get these new brakes for your car before you get back to work on Monday. Oh, you don't want to go to the store. Why? Because you're at home chilling. You know what I mean? Your kids are jumping up and down, yelling at you. Mom, mommy, Ma. It's getting on your nerves. It's driving you crazy. Ma, it's bothering you. Guess what? You don't have to leave. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do, pull out your phone or your laptop and go to my peoples at rockauto.com. Save you some time, save you some money. Save 30, 50, even 100% more for the same parts from a chain, store, or car dealership. Family-owned business, serving your do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years. Reliably low prices for every single customers. They got everything that you need. You need them brake lamps. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, you need them brake parts. You need them tail lamps. You need that motor oil. You even need some new carpet. They got it all, man. Don't even worry about it. Just hit them up. Go to rockauto.com right now. See all the parts that are available for your car or truck. And make sure you write in locked on. All right? Write in locked on in there. How did you hear about us box? So they know that Matt Peck and Big Dave sent you. Amazing selection. Reliably low price. All the parts your car will ever need. It's for you, Luther Vandross. RockAuto.com. Luther! I'm 6 years old.
I love it. Moving on to the other big newcomer this offseason and his media day thoughts, we get to DeMar DeRozan now, Big Dave. Perhaps, there's lots to break down with some of his thoughts, but this is something that was echoed after his initial Meet the Media Zoom, interviews when he signed with the Bulls, when everybody kept asking about fit. Maybe my four favorite words uttered by anyone on Media Day were DeMar DeRozan saying the following: "It's not rocket science." It's not.
Yes.
It's basketball. Not. DeMar DeRozan knows it's basketball, and he's going to go out there and show that he can make it work. Him and Zach, him and Vooch, whatever it is, whatever the night, whatever the matchups, they're going to make it work, and DeMar seems very confident about that.
Very, very confident, and he's right to be confident. I mean, he has 12 years to fall back on to be confident in what he's going to do here. I'm so excited, Matt. Just when I saw DeMar DeRozan, he was the other person that was the surreal moment for me. Like when I saw him and I was like, wow, it's like, dude, DeMar DeRozan is on the squad. Like, this is so dope. And it's great to hear him talk about Zach LaVine and saying they've been spending a lot of time together and, just getting acclimated with the team. It was great how he spoke about the city, Matt. How he said, how he didn't realize the appreciation for sports was on such a high level here until he got here and he figured that out. That was exciting as well. But yeah, when you ask a basketball player who's been awesome for 12, 13 years of their career, hey, how you going to fit in with some other great players? What do you mean? Like, you give them the ball and then they play. You know what I mean? You don't worry about certain things like that. That's things you worry about when you don't have multiple all-stars and, all NBA players on your team. But we do. We do. We got that. And that's awesome. So, and DeMar is one of them. I can't wait to see just the first early games for him, Matt, because it's going to be a little more spread out for him to do what he wants because Patrick Williams won't be there. So he's going to, I think personally, he'll have a little more room, to operate and maneuver as far as what he's used to doing. You know what I'm saying? As far as that ISO ball and everything is concerned. Because I'm sure we'll see it in the fourth quarter, but I think you might see it a little more earlier now that Pat's not in there for a little bit. Or maybe not.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. Look, the other thing that I liked hearing from DeMar, in addition to what he's building chemistry-wise and friendship-wise with Zach, but also the person we were just talking about, Lonzo Ball. DeRozan has been around the block, and he's been in the NBA a long time, and he referred to Lonzo as a, quote, great IQ point guard. You know what the Bulls have never had in recent memory? A great IQ point guard. So knowing that DeRozan will also be a guy handling the ball at times, it's great to know that he has that confidence in a teammate like Lonzo, who is significantly younger than DeMar, but DeMar has faith in Lonzo to play his role well. And it sounds like DeMar has faith in everyone to play their roles well. This was another highlight quote from DeRozan for me. We have great high character players, unselfish players. And once you have that element, everything else will be easy. On any given night, it could be anybody that could get hot. We all understand that. We're all unselfish. For me, even choosing on coming here, it was understanding that with the character of the guys and being unselfish, you need that unselfishness. It goes a long way. It's not about me. It's not like I'm going to go out there and get 25 shots. No, none of us think that way. It's all about winning and whatever we need to do and whatever we need to figure out to be a successful team. That's what we're going to do.
That just got me so excited. He had another quote, Matt, that I didn't think about until he said it. He talked about when coming here, and again, another player who chose to come here. We just talked about Lonzo choosing to come here. He chose to come here. He said, this was my first time actually choosing where I wanted to play. And I never thought of it that way. Because he's right. Like in Toronto, you got drafted to Toronto. You got traded to San Antonio. He didn't have a say-so in any of that. This is his first time, his 12th year in the league. This is his first time getting to decide where he wants to be. And the first time he gets to decide where he wants to be, he says, I want to be with the Chicago Bulls. Dude, that's awesome. That means something to me when it comes to somebody like that. Because, we're talking about a multiple-time All-Star. We're talking about an All-NBA dude. We're talking about one of the best players in this league. Said, I want to be in Chicago for the first time I get to choose where I want to go, and it's to go be with my man Vooch, and it's to go play with Zach LaVine. That says a lot, bro. For real. It said a lot to me. It really did.
Yeah, I mean, you said it was weird, and that was like the wow moment for you when you saw Lonzo in a Bulls jersey.
Yeah.
To me... and I'm excited about Lonzo. Don't get me wrong. Sure. To me, that happened to me when I saw DeMar wearing a Bulls jersey. I was like, DeMar DeRozan is a Bull. Like that's when it sunk in. Finally, I was like, wait, that's DeMar DeRozan, and he's standing next to Zach LaVine in a Bulls jersey. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man.
It's great to see that they are all on the same page of unselfishness. And look, it's always roses and rainbows on media day, right? Even when you're coming into a season with lower expectations in recent Bulls years, they try to project the most unified front and optimistic outlook on the season and their goals, because that's a big part of what media day is about. This year feels different in that they are all, I mean, and it goes back to what DeRozan said in that quote that I read. It's not about stats, it's about winning. And maybe at some point this season, one of these players will feel, I don't know, unused, a little slighted, feeling like they're not getting their numbers and they're not getting their looks based on what Billy Donovan's game plan is on a nightly basis. It's certainly possible that at some point between games 1 and 82, one of these guys will not be as, hey, let's all be selfless and just win games attitude as they are right now before they've played a game together. Yeah. But I like there is something to be said for the fact that I think you and I are of the belief that this isn't lip service. Coming into this season, all of these guys who haven't won yet at the level that they want to win, it's not lip service to hear all of them say, especially a seasoned vet like DeMar, it's not about numbers. It's not about shooting 25 a night. It's about winning.
Matt, I think you made a great point when you said coming into media day, everybody talks like that because it's all hope and rainbows and all about the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and everybody just wants to talk about it. What feels different about this one is this hope and rainbows and the pot of gold at the end, but they came in with a plan to get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, hey, maybe, things will work out and, we'll get it. Yay, you know.
In the words of John Paxson, hope and luck are not a strategy or a plan.
Exactly. Fact.
But that's what we're going to do anyway, so let's have some fun.
Oh, this wasn't fun? Oh, I'm shocked. No, it was not fun. But yeah, it just feels like there's a plan to get that gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the difference. That's why I keep talking about bringing two sectors together here, like bringing the sector of hope and bringing the sector of logic together, because it works together in this sense. Like, you can see the hopefulness of this team just looking at it, but also looking at it, you can see why logically people have their hope and why logically you feel like they're going to be a good basketball team because of the talent you just look at. Just look at that picture of them in that starting five, those guys just standing together. I don't have an ounce of hope among that. I have logic that tells me, oh, this team's going to ball. Like, just looking at you, like, that team's going to ball. That's the basketball team right there, man. So, and DeRozan, man, I love how much more vocal he is now, especially when he talked vocally about dealing with mental health as he did. It seems like he's more sure of things now when he speaks and when he says certain things. And it's no room for error, in his speech. There are no soft words, you know what I mean, in what he says. I like how he talked about, dude, I'm bringing, like, he was like, the things I've learned in Toronto and the things I learned in San Antonio were basically two different things. But over that 13-year career, I've compiled all that, and now I'm about to bring it here to Chicago. So the player you might have had a problem with in Toronto, oh, man, I don't know if he can do that. The player you might not have liked in San Antonio, oh, man, I don't know if he can do that. Now he's combining both of that. He's combining the two good aspects from that, and he's bringing it right here to Chicago, man, to play with Zach LaVine. I love how he said, and people can argue this all they want, and they can debate it, it's fine. But I love how he said, this is the most talented team I've been on in my career. Like, if you look at it on paper, he's right. That's not hope. That's the truth. If you look at it on paper, he didn't say better team. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't say like that. Of course, Toronto, they went and they proved they had a better team. They went very far in the playoffs. We haven't done that yet. But if we're just looking at it on paper and you're looking at the guys he's playing with, oh, we got a gold medalist on our team and an all-star. Oh, we got another multiple-time all-star on our team. Oh, we got a great point guard on our team. Oh, we got Patrick Williams, who everybody thinks is going to be amazing on our team. Yeah, they're on our sideline. Oh, I got Billy Donovan here. Yeah, that's the most talent he has played with in his 12-year career in the NBA. And it's here in Chicago, man. Thank you, AK and Eversley. I appreciate y'all.
It is crazy. And Vooch said this, echoed those sentiments. Most talented team I've ever been a part of. And speaking
his
of that,
isn't debatable.
No, I mean, poor Vooch to some of those Orlando teams. That's an obvious one. Speaking of Vooch, we will get to some of his thoughts from Media Day in just a minute to wrap up the show. Before that, though, want to tell y'all about our great friends at Built Bar. If you haven't tried these delicious protein bars that taste like candy bars yet, I don't know what you're doing. How many times do we have to tell you how delicious these Built Bars are at a great price? Do you know that there are so many delicious flavors. There's something for everyone at Built.com. You got to try some of their original flavors like raspberry, mint brownie, double chocolate, salted caramel, one of my favorites, cookies and cream, or German chocolate. If you haven't tried these flavors to know which one is your favorite, you can get a mixed box of these flavors from Built.com so you can try them all, pick your favorite, and a whole box of that flavor. Be also on the lookout for their rotating limited time flavors right now at Built.com. The brand newest flavor, Cherry Lime. What an amazing combination of flavors in one chocolate-covered protein bar. Cherry Lime.
Wow.
I feel like you can eat a protein bar, feel like you're sitting on a tropical beach somewhere. Not only are these Built bars the best tasting, but they're healthy for you too. Every Built bar has either 17 or 18 grams of protein, but only 130 to 180 calories. That's nothing. That's a great breakfast option, a great lunch option after a workout. Only 4 or 5 grams of sugar and just 4 or 5 grams of net carbs. Amazing flavors, all tasty and all healthy for you. So go to Built.com and use promo code LOCKED15 to get 15% on each and every order you place. That's right. Promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at Built.com.
That is amazing. Well, also, guys, we are back and they're better than ever. That's right. The football season's in full swing, and I know you want to put some money on the games. Well, you know that there's only one place you need to go, and that is Bet Online, your number one spot for all your pro and college football action this season. They got a brand new updated site. They got a new interface, even more odds, props, and contests. BetOnline.ag continues to be your number one source for everything football. Now you head to the website, use your mobile device, sign up today, get that 100% welcome bonus. That's double your initial deposit just for signing up. That's all you do. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, boom. There it is, bonus. Don't forget to use that promo code, though, NFL100. All the things, all the sports that you're talking about, football, basketball, boxing, favorite Vegas casino games, everything. Don't wait. Take advantage of all these amazing offers available to you on this 2021 season, because it's Bet Online, ladies and gentlemen. It's your online sports book experts. Use promo code Locked On.
Woo! All right, moving on to Vooch and his media day thoughts. I don't know about you, Big Dave. I am really excited for a full season of Vooch and Vooch building his chemistry. Not only with Zach LaVine, but these other newcomers like Lonzo and DeMar. A thing that I think goes overlooked a lot is Vooch is a 20 and 10 guy. He's going to get you 20 and 10 any night that you need him to. He is also becoming, over the last couple of years, a very underrated passing big man, operating out of either the high post or the low post. He makes amazing reads. He has great vision, and he finds cutters. And this team is now chock full of guys who are great at making backdoor cuts, making lane cuts. Caruso is great at it. DeMar and Zach LaVine are both great at it. Even in his rookie season, we saw what Patrick and Williams can do moving off the ball. And Vooch is going to be a hub who can not only, when you say, okay, Lonzo, go get people their looks, be the main ball handler. DeMar, right now, coming off of your 7 assists per game season with the Spurs, it's your turn. Be the main ball handler. Find people looks. I think that Vooch can still flirt with between 4 and 5 assists per game this season because his passing is that good. And it speaks to something that he and all of his teammates were talking about at Media Day, which is sharing. Sharing is caring. And if we all share a ball, we're going to probably win more games.
It's a thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's a thing. It's so interesting, Matt, because honestly, the argument can be made that Vooch is the most important person in that starting five or on this team. You can honestly make that, because if Vooch goes down, I'm just talking about because behind him, you're like, you don't know. You know, don't knock on Tony Bradley, you don't knock on Marco, but they're not Vooch. And there's nobody on the team like that, who gets you 20 and 10, shoot 40% from three, and like Matt said, get you 4 or 5 assists at the same time. Yeah, and is 7 feet tall. We don't have that on the squad outside of him. So he's going to be so, so important, man, when he's setting those picks, Matt. And we talked about it last time also, him getting that rebound. And specifically, you said this, him getting that rebound and being the trailer when they're running that fast break and pulling up from that 3-point line, man, it's going to be hard to defend You know what I'm saying? Because your first instinct is to stop the ball. That's your first instinct. Stop the ball with the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like to stop the ball. All right. So if he's and he's such a great point guard, he's such a great point guard that he's gonna find out when Vooch is trailing and hit him with that, man. So and just get him the ball in the post, and he's gonna do his thing. You saw how much better he made Kobe White also. So how much better you think he's about to make Lonzo Ball and on ball? I already think Lonzo Ball is good, and playing with him is gonna make it better. It's so exciting to have this kind of talent on your team and this kind of veteran talent on your team. He's been in the league 10 years. Like it's just exciting to have this on your team, Matt. And I just think about the possibilities. Like I just get excited when I sit here and I think about the possibilities of what you can do with somebody like him. Because even with the second unit, he can be that kind of impactful player. You know what I'm saying? Like even if he goes out early, you know what I mean? You just want to run him with the second unit a little bit. You can run whoever you want at that point guard position. Like he's going to be that dude to help you out. Like, cool, I got you. Hey, you want to eat quick, easy too? Give me the ball in the post. I clear it out. You want to run a pick and pop with me? We can do that all day long. You want to set up the offense through me like you kind of used to do Joakim Noah? I can do that stuff too for a couple of possessions. It's so many things that you can do with this person on this team. And it's one more thing I want to say about him, but I want you to go, though, next. Yeah. And I'll get into it after this. Go ahead.
All right. I mean, I can see Kobe and or Caruso having very efficient two-man game stretches if Vooch is playing some of those staggered second unit minutes. It's exciting. And go figure. Kobe White's assist percentages went up when he started throwing the ball to Vooch instead of a 6'6" Wendell plywood for hands Carter Jr.
Plywood. Oh, I like that. Plywood. What? He just gave me a name.
That's shout out to my pops on that one. That's what my dad nicknamed Kellen Davis, that old Bears tight end who could not catch a pass to save his life.
He was huge. He couldn't catch anything.
He called him plywood. So that's what I started calling Wendell anytime he tried to catch a basketball. Dude's got plywood for hands.
That is awesome. Plywood. That is amazing. Oh, wow.
But so continuing this trend of let's all share that we've heard from all these Bulls players at Media Day, here's some of that from Vooch. Quote, "We definitely have to adjust our games a little bit. In Orlando, my role was different than it will be here. Same with Zach when he was just here, and it was just him." A little dig at Zach's old teammates there. Now it's DeMar and me. Same for DeMar. But I think that's what we wanted. We wanted to have that type of talent around us, and that's what helps you win. I mean, you look at some of the best teams around the league right now, they all have a couple players that have had to make certain sacrifices, change their game a little bit for the better of the team. And I think that, wait for it, all three of us, him, DeMar, and Zach, are willing to do that. Bring it up. Ring up another one.
Yes, I'm the foul. Yeah, man. Hearing guys talking about how they want to be unselfish, and then also hearing them talk about basketball IQ. Like that's the one things that have stood out to me from what everybody has said, because everybody's kind of touched on that. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's talking about just the high IQ on the team, including AK and Billy Donovan. Touched on the high IQ on this team, and also touched on the unselfishness of all these stars that they have on this team. And the other thing I wanted to say about Vooch, man, is the relationship with him and DeMar DeRozan. Like I didn't realize how tight it was. Honestly, I had no clue how tight that relationship
came into USC as freshmen together, dude.
Yeah. And they talked the fact that they had been talking throughout each other's career about playing together again. You know, after all these years, they was like, we knew it couldn't work out. But once he got opportunity, guess what he went and said? Hey, bro, come on through. Like, we kicking it over here. You need to stop by. Have you seen Zach LaVine? Did you see him against Charlotte? Like, I need you to come get you some of this, man. So the fact that they have that relationship, Matt, just really, really just made me even more excited going forward for this team, because chemistry obviously is, hugely important. But if you got that chemistry with a guy that you had it already before in college, and you couldn't wait to explore it again, and now you're both better basketball players because of it, start the season. Like, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see this, man. But I expect some really awesome things from Vooch, man. He's gonna make a lot of guys better in the first year and the second unit.
And shout out to Vooch too, because we heard, I can't remember if we heard it from Vooch or from DeRozan right after the DeRozan announcement was made official, that when DeRozan and the Spurs played the Bulls after Vooch had come over in the trade, they had a quick little chat after that game where Vooch was like, hey man, I know you got free agency coming up. Like, look, me, Zach, we're trying to get our bearings together right now, but you come over here, that might be a fun. It's not like he was going to successfully recruit DeRozan to Orlando, right?
Right.
Vooch sees an opportunity, sees a window, and credit to Vooch for doing some recruiting. We know that Zach did some recruiting as well, but the fact that DeRozan talked to his old buddy Vooch, and they had been apparently talking for years about maybe playing the NBA together someday, Vooch was like, hey, I just got traded to a big market. And like you said, have you seen this kid, Zach LaVine? Because, oh my God, come here and do something. Come here and do something. And man, like Big Dave, that's what I think really like made itself crystal clear to me, watching these guys talk about why they're here and seeing them take just photo shoots together. That all of these photos that just blew up all over Twitter, and that one photo in particular of Lonzo, Vooch, DeRozan, and Zach. Just that foursome of like, holy shit, Bulls haven't had a foursome like this on media day in I don't know how long. Like Derek, Jimmy, Joakim, who's the fourth there? Like, like they have not, don't talk to me about three alphas media day. Don't want to talk about that. And it's so funny because maybe some people are more, they take things in visually, because how many people looked at this Bulls team and said, they're not going to do nothing. There it is. They're not going to do nothing. They're not going to do nothing. And then I don't know about you, Big Dave, but I was just cackling with laughter all day on Monday when I saw people on Twitter, not Bulls fans, but just NBA people on Twitter, reacting to the photo that you just put up on your screen of those four Bulls saying, holy shit, Bulls got a squad. Like,
Yo, we've been telling y'all that for months. Yes, they have a squad. You're right, man. Some people are just visual creatures. You're right. Because then all of a sudden, I saw it on SportsCenter. Then all of a sudden, I saw it on Bleacher Report. And I'm seeing it in all these, like, holy crap, the Bulls, look at this team. like, wait a minute. This is their team? Like, seriously? Yeah, fool. We've been saying this for months now. Yes. This is our team, dog. And Patrick Williams wasn't even on that picture. He's there too. You know what I'm saying? Like, get ready is what I'm saying to y'all. See, I'm glad they had to see it. And I'm glad they visualized it. And now it's in their brain. And they're like, maybe this will work. Like, it might be a thing. Might be a thing, guys. Maybe a thing. So, yeah, visual creatures, man. I guess visual creatures.
It's a lot of talent in one picture, man. And you just think about it, knowing that they're all on the same page about this, sharing the ball, sharing opportunities based on what defenses give them every night, and thinking about. I mean, you could theoretically have three guys averaging 20 a game. If Zach's scoring comes down a little bit, if DeMar stays right around where it was, if Vooch stays where it was, you could have Vooch, DeMar, and Zach all averaging 20 plus points per game. Vooch is giving you 10 boards on top of that. Zach and or DeRozan are capable of giving you 5+ assists per night. And then Lonzo is probably going to be somewhere in that 15, 7, and 5 range.
Yep.
Those four as you're starting, there's your ball game. That's enough production right there. And that's not even including your other fifth starter and your bench.
Yeah. We ain't even got into that. We ain't even got into, the Caruso pick that I saw that made me excited. Just to even see Caruso with the white headband on.
He and Benny the Bull are BFFs already.
Already, man. Just to even see it.
Which I'm sure is going to make our pal John upset because, long-standing nemesis and an absolute rivalry with Benny the Bull.
Yeah, he's going to fight for his love. He's going to fight for it. Even seeing Kobe White, with the new haircut. Showing up, you know what I'm saying? Looking like all business and all cool and smooth. Also, even seeing him in that was exciting to me. Seeing Troy Brown Jr. and was exciting to me. Javonte Green, seeing Ayo in his jersey was exciting to me. Like, just to watch all that and just to say, what I was also thinking, Matt, when I was looking at Javonte and Ayo and Troy Brown Jr., I was like, holy crap, like years ago, these would have been like the big signings. Like these would have been like, oh man, maybe he could be the sixth man on the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the truth. That's kind of what we were dealing with at that point in time. Like, we're looking at Jerry and Grant, like, oh man, he might be solid. He might be the solid point guard or something. But now,
Jerry and Grant.
Yeah, that's not going to get you on Sports Center's and ESPN's radar. But you know what will? Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, and Zach LaVine will get you on the radar, man, because people see that, and you see the talent and the chemistry already with these guys, man. They look in lockstep with each other, man. And I can't wait to take this walk, baby. And it's starting the preseason, baby. It's starting the preseason. Come on.
And the last few weeks, man, every podcast ends with us just being like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited!" Speaking of which, we're going to start getting updates from the Bulls' first practices of training camp later on this week. There are already a couple of positive updates with the two young guys, both Patrick Williams and Kobe White, when it comes to just where exactly they are with their injuries. There was a little bit of that info that we had on our first Monday episode this week. We'll talk about that and anything else that comes out from training camp over the remainder of the week. So stay tuned for more fresh episodes. We're back to full season, guys. We took like a little bit of a month off where we were doing 3, maybe 4 a week. We are officially in to the 21-22 NBA season. I think we're both thrilled about it. We hope you are too. Yes. So if you want to be a part of the conversation here on Locked On Bulls, hit us up on our text and voicemail line 331-979-1369. Email us lockedonbulls@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Bulls_Peck. He's at BAWL, BAWL Sports. We are at Locked On Bulls. Appreciate everybody for subscribing and interacting with us on that YouTube channel. Appreciate y'all. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you aren't already. Until next time, that's Big Dave. I'm Matt. We're getting closer, y'all.
It's almost here.
Peace out.